how has parenthood changed our marriage?
Yeah.
Guys' lives move on.
Yeah.
And then you are left in this
Kababble for your child.
of
Why do I feel like you have more freedom and I don't? Why do I feel stuck and you don't? Like, we have twins. Like, it was really hard for me to breastfeed both of them.
I feel like the weight of motherhood and parenting is mostly on the moms, and we feel like the dads can move on.
Whatever I'm doing for work is so important.
Let me admit it, it's very selfish.
I did not know I could love in a different way.
I'll be honest, I struggled with that for so long.
I saw Charlene was losing herself to just being a mom, having that identity of just a mom.
I lost my visions, my goals, my dreams, my passions, because I was so ingrained in my children.
She got the light in her life. Her love never fails. She lives to walk right. And through her trials, so much grace. So much grace. So much grace. So much grace.
Hi guys, welcome to the Mothers by Grace podcast, a podcast for moms who need a lot of support and even more grace. And today's a very exciting episode because we have special people with us. Let me start by introducing ourselves and then they'll introduce themselves. My name is Washo.
My name is Kadzo.
And I'm Charlene.
And who are you people?
My name is Robbie.
My name is Gabriel.
And I'm Ed.
That's it. People
I'm
don't
not
know.
Gina Bailey.
Yeah.
So you're from where?
So-
You guys said one name. One.
Anyway, Nyeji.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
be
people
original.
don't know
Yeah.
Eish.
I guess
Yeah.
we are new.
Yeah.
Yeah, the like
Gabriel
okay.
Howard.
Yes.
Married to Charlene.
Huh?
Robbie Omol, married to Washo.
And I'm Eddie Warwembo, married to the remaining one.
Guys.
Okay, Kat is my wife. Kat is my wife.
People are shouting and we've not even started.
Oh, baby.
It's okay.
Sorry.
We are your friends.
Try later.
Yeah, what vibaya. Yeah, so what are we talking about today?
Wait. First, I got a question for you guys.
For,
This is
for us?
for all of you guys.
Okay.
This isn't the question, but to start off, you guys do this every week. This is nerve-wracking. It's like, I got a mic in my face,
Yeah.
there are cameras.
Yep.
Don't know where to look.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just look at whoever.
Just look at whoever you're
Alright.
talking to.
Yeah, so don't awkwardly look at them.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right. No, but the real question I have for you guys, if you can be present for any event in the Bible, what event would you want to be present for?
Guys, Gabe is a
You're starting with deep
These
questions.
are the questions we normally
Present
ask.
for any event in the Bible.
Yeah. If you could be there.
It has to be one.
Yeah, just one.
You
Present like in it or watching like a movie. Like
You are an active participant.
Like unaiangalia.
Uko hapo. I don't know.
let me see.
I think for me it would have to be creation. I'd be brooding with the spirit. Like over the waters and doing stuff. Yeah, because like I would really want to see how that aspect happened, you know. Yeah.
I was totally going to say creation.
Me
Mine.
too.
But
Me too.
since you picked it, I'm going to do the Last Supper. That John 13 all the way through John 17.
Yeah.
Seeing how Jesus, like, what he was feeling, what he was thinking, knowing that he was going to go to the cross the next day. But creation was my number one.
Better talk before you guys take the other good
I know.
one. Maybe I'd go to the island of Patmos. Either that
The
or
wife.
like John the Revelator.
Yeah.
Just that. Either that or Ezekiel. Just having his eyes open and then he's like,
I thought you'd say the wedding at Cana.
oh, Jesus.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Holy Spirit.
There was a good party there.
Yeah.
There was a good party.
I don't know. Let me see.
Elijah, maybe.
No, I think I would love to see, I don't know, Jesus. Like Jesus growing up. like the parts
as a
from
toddler.
like from birth, like from
Jesus
the
at 14.
birth
Did you have done
until
Aki.
like Jesus until he went to the temple. Then after that, now when he started his ministry. But I think I would, yeah. I think just being around Jesus, would be. I would love that.
Like, maybe
yeah.
he had holy tantrums.
Yeah, maybe I had holy tantrums. No, like that one when he was at the temple. That wasn't a holy tantrum.
Guy.
When he was
like
left
you're lost,
by
your
his
mother-
parents.
It's actually when you remember when Lost turned in the toilet.
Story for another podcast.
yeah.
Another episode.
You guys?
I think Noah's Ark. Not like
It's a
when
nice one.
just when the water had cleared and they get to see the new world again.
Yeah, after all the people died.
Yeah.
But
But like I don't want to be there through the process. Those when it's
people-
raining,
when
it's
it's
just
raining,
cows.
yeah.
Just imagine
Yeah.
that ark didn't smell so nice also.
Yeah.
So I want like they are fine. The dove comes back now, like as it's coming back and they open. Like that's the point.
Okay.
That I don't want to be
Like that's
present for.
underwhelming.
Yeah, you want to be
but
there
think
in
about
the
that.
waves.
I don't
No,
want
everything.
you just be there with Jesus
Like
in the
everything
boat.
is washed away.
when the nannies.
do you know the thing that is more surprising to
I'd like
me
to
or more
see Earth
appealing?
again.
What would be
in
more
its
scary?
glory.
It's like there's water coming from up. Because
See,
it
it's
had
rain.
never
It never
rained.
happened. Yeah,
It had
that was
never
the first
rained.
time.
That was the first time
Yeah.
it rained.
Yeah.
So you're like, you're used to water being down here
Yeah.
or you know, but now it's coming from up. You're like, what is this?
Nope.
And then it goes ankle height. It's like the reverse of Ezekiel.
Yeah.
It goes, you get.
Knee heights, no.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Inside
I think-
the dance.
I think for me it would either be a resurrection from the death for like either Lazarus or Jairus' daughter. Because can you imagine just being like get up? It's almost as if like umelala tu, but you're dead.
Yeah.
To me, that's a bit.
Yeah, it's true. I think for me,
What?
even today, if I was told to go pray for, the dead, I'm like, wait, I've not reached that level. Because I'm trying to imagine someone is dead and you tell them to come, then like, hey.
I know. Run away. It's true. You ran away.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to be there for that.
Yeah.
I think I'll be creeped out though, to be honest. For sure. Nenda cemetery alafu unaona mtu
No, but those days are coming. Amen.
Amen.
Jesus come.
May you go ahead.
Wait.
You
I'm
also
gonna be there
have
with you. I'm gonna be there with you.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like she's not.
No. She's the one to wake up.
From the dead, she's the one waking people up. And then she tells us her experience. Hey, how was it? How did you feel? And then from there, we gauge. We're like, oh, okay.
Okay, Kadzo.
That's why you have a
Yani,
problem.
umefikiria.
You honestly have a big problem,
No,
baby.
let me tell you, it's good to have people who's gone ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In all walks of life.
Yeah.
Overtaking
So
anointing, amen.
today, if you watched the last two episodes, we've been talking about how motherhood has changed us, and I think today we wanted to have the husbands because there's no motherhood without it involving our marriages, yeah, and also our
In our context.
in our context, because now there are people who aren't in the same context as us. But for this context, I wanna go straight into this.
Can they go fast?
Yeah, they can go fast.
I love it. Sure.
The purpose is for
I
you
love
guys
it.
to talk.
How has motherhood changed you?
You guys go. We'll lead the way. We got you.
Yeah.
How has
Rob will
man?
go.
No, how has motherhood changed you? That's the question.
Yeah, how has motherhood changed?
Changed your marriage. Like how
marriage.
yeah. How it changed
Rob
your
was about to
marriage.
start, so I got engorged. Wait,
I don't even want to make this joke
Before you
because
start,
people
yeah.
will use it against me. So.
before you started, remember how Rob used to come? He's like, initially when you get, especially when Kalel was born,
Yeah.
then Rob's like, hey, culture shock was, when Washo is, that's like,
Which side?
Which side do you give them?
It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah, that was strange.
We've given you the leakage.
Yeah. Okay. So how has that changed you?
Yani.
And
Guys,
how you view your
Remember so many. Smelling the poop.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like a smell test.
how has let's say parenthood
Yeah, parenting now.
changed our marriage?
Yeah.
So one of the ways, I'll say one so that we can continue as I think of others. But the one that is top of my mind is our conversations. Like I think before we had kids, we used to just talk about like, oh, let's take this trip, let's do this, let's do that, let's talk about the word, let's do all this fun stuff and things like that. But now when the kids come, you're always having these conversations for, have you changed the diaper? When is the baby gonna wake up? When is have you checked the monitor? Have you done this? Have you done that? Do we have a car seat? Can we buy more diapers and things like that? So that's the conversation kind of changes into a lot of that. Even with other couples who have kids, I realized that you end up like, there was a friend of mine who I asked, is there a possibility of parents meeting together and not talking about their kids? And she said it's impossible. It's impossible. Like
It's
at some point
impossible.
you will have to talk
Yeah.
about the kids, like, oh, my kid does this, my kid does that, and stuff like that. So so I think in terms of conversation, that really changes. But it changes also in a good way because you kind of amplify your vision. Yeah, because now once the kids come in, you start to see your vision clearer and clearer and clearer, and you talk about it more and you pray about it more, and it becomes so much more at the forefront rather than just having fun in marriage. Yeah.
I like that. Nice.
No,
what?
you're not. Why are you pointing at me? You go.
I thought you wanted to go next.
No, I'm letting you go. Go first while I still think about it.
It's good you went first. You're taking all the good answers. 'Cause that is true. I would say identity. Whereas like before, it was like, okay, I'm Gabriel, who's married. That's Charlene, who's married. And like I still felt like I could be more of myself, and we could still do more things independently, and go out more. But now it's like I'm Baba Twins, and that's Mama Twins.
Yeah.
And like
It's true.
everything we do, so not just conversation, but time, schedule,
Yeah.
everything we do wraps around the babies. Like when I wake up, where I go, who's gonna watch the babies? Okay, on my way home, do I need to go to the store? What time we're gonna start cooking dinner? Bedtime. Like if I want to do this, are the babies covered in that way? And so there's a less sense of identity and self and like herself. And so that, but also in that same sense, that's one of the reasons why I was pushing this podcast so much, is because like I saw Charlene was losing herself to just being a mom, having that identity of just a mom, which is like, it's not a bad thing. Being a mom or stay-at-home mom is not a bad thing. It's God's grace in that. But it's like, no, you're still Charlene, and like you still have so much to offer, so much fun, so much, creativity, so much, that I know you want to do. And this podcast is a good opportunity to do that. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I was pushing the podcast so much. But identity definitely changed with marriage and babies.
You sounded like you had one more. You're like babies, and then you stopped there.
I almost forgot the babies.
Or babies.
Oh yeah, plural.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
We have two.
yeah.
but I'll still say baby, lest I cause unwanted looks. But I think the thing that radically changed is we learned so much about ourselves. It's a little bit like identity, but I think the thing I discovered is I did not know I could love in a different way. And it's sort of not competing. It's not competitive kind of love. that, you know, I love this one more, I love my son more, I love my wife more. They're so complementary and they're so cohesive. They go so well together that it surprised me. It really did.
Yeah.
And I know for my wife, I got to see her in another way. I got to see a level of strength that I did not know she had. I had an idea, but I did not know it existed. And more than once, more than twice, quite a few times, I'd go to her and I'd be like, where do you find the strength? And for her, it's a simple answer. She just says, I just do. And for me, parenthood has, yes, it has introduced me to my son. Yes, it has introduced me to another level of love, but it has reintroduced me to my wife. And it has reintroduced me to myself. And being the only one with one kid here, I figure that it multiplies when the kids, you know, it continues even with the second and the third. I'm not going to go past third.
Okay. All right.
No.
The third is adopted.
No, but you get my point.
Yeah, I get your point.
It's just more, and it complements it in each other in such an amazing way that I did not fathom way before getting into this. Yeah.
Wow.
I like that. And for you ladies?
I think as we've mostly talked about it.
No, but how has it changed your marriage?
In your
Like, how has your
My
marriage
marriage.
changed? Yeah. You two should.
Signature laugh. They just looked at each other like, you go first.
They just knew what they were thinking.
Okay, I can go first.
Yeah, you see?
I think for me, and this was an unhealthy thing that started happening. For me, was more, I noticed the difference between being a mom and being a dad. And I even told my husband, Gabriel, this. I was like, why do I feel like you have more freedom and I don't? Why do I feel stuck and you don't? You know, so I felt like there was a difference, even though we are both parenting. Like we're both parenting and there's so much work that we're both, and time that we're both putting into the kids. It felt as if I was stuck. I don't know how else to say it, but
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like guys' lives move on.
Yeah.
And then you are left in this
Kababble for your
kababble
child.
of
Because you're the
moving.
one,
It's the same thing
the
every
cycle
day,
every day. Because
Monday
you're the
to
one
Monday.
breastfeeding.
Yeah.
When the child wakes up at night, the child doesn't want the dad. The child wants you. Sijui, what and what and
Unless
what
you have
and what.
twins. And
Unless you have twins,
Oh, yeah.
that's
you both
true.
gotta get-
That is very true.
Yeah, so
is very
like I get you, Charlene, because even for me, I think what the also unhealthy bit that happened for me is I started comparing what I do compared to what
the
Rob
husband
does.
does, yeah.
Like if he hasn't changed a diaper, I'd be like, I asked him to I've changed 5 times. I've changed this time. I'm the one who has to wake up at night. And I don't know how he's felt, or rather you guys have felt, because you guys have all gone through
that
this.
sounds very familiar.
It's very familiar because I know it's a thing that moms have. Like, I feel like the weight of motherhood and parenting is mostly on the moms, and we feel like the dads can move on because you can get up and decide, oh, I'm driving and stuff like that. But I think, I don't know if it's the same for you because you've had 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, it's like, because we do have twins, I will say, like, Gabriel woke up with me.
Yeah.
Like, when they wake
And
up.
we watched Survivor the whole time.
That's
Yes,
actually,
yeah.
yes, that's how we got into Survivor.
Yeah.
Please, like, respond to his Survivor. If you're watching this, please respond
Pick
to
me.
Yeah.
My audition tape is
his
out there.
audition tape. Like,
Yeah, we want a person that we know in
Seriously?
Survivor. Yeah.
but anyway, we got into Survivor because it's like our kids woke up probably every 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I was breastfeeding, he would still take a bottle. So we have twins. Like, it was really hard for me to breastfeed both of them. So Gabe actually really, like, he woke up in the middle of the night countless of times and changed the diapers and fed the babies and put them to sleep and all that. The only difference was, with me, I felt like my dreams, my vision, and my goals that's what felt stuck. Like, I felt like I couldn't accomplish any of my passions and my desires, even like going to school or like being in the creative space or even reading a book, like things that I love and enjoy at the time. I felt like I couldn't do it because I'm always thinking about my milk supply is gonna go low. Like if I don't wake up at 3 a.m. to pump after my kids have just gone to sleep at 2:30, so things like that. But I lost my visions, my goals, my dreams, my passions, because I was so ingrained in my children. Yeah.
Okay.
Babe, I think we had something similar considering how Tando was born. Because he could not breastfeed right after we left the hospital. He couldn't. You told the story in the previous episodes where he was born 7 months. So there was a time when he could not breastfeed, and we shared that we had weekly duties. You had oh my God, the dread on your face right now. But it's just
I know.
Yeah.
but we had those times when we'd alternate. And now when he started being able to breastfeed, that's when we got at the impact of now it's only her that can. And totally understand her feeling.
Because how I remember how he even stopped the bottle is now when I'd wake up to give him the bottle, Tando would act like he's choking. He just like, I'm like, and then Eddie will give him the bottle, he's fine. But when I do it, he's acting like he's choking. So I'm so sleepy. This guy is acting like he's choking because now he's like, me, breastfeed baby. I'll show you.
Yeah.
That's how he stopped taking the bottle.
Wow.
How do you guys feel about what we've shared? Like,
I think there are two sides to every coin, because like for me, I actually enjoyed parenting in like between March and April this year because I didn't have a lot of jobs coming in.
1 month?
No. No.
I was thinking it. I was like, wait, what?
Not like that. Like in terms of being extremely hands-on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a lot of jobs coming in at that
and we
time.
didn't have a stable
And then we
nanny.
didn't have a nanny.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is like our teamwork was impeccable. Like we were just, I was doing this, she was doing that. Take this baby, you take that baby,
stop,
blah,
please.
blah, blah. And things were just working in the house. But now usually I feel bad when I have to work and you get to spend time with the kids. That's also the other dynamic because you feel like we are moving on, but we're not really moving on without the family. Because as Gabe said, your identity has already changed. The minute that baby came out or those babies came out, your identity changed from husband to father as well. So now you're husband and father. And now everything that you do is for these kids. Everything that you do is for your spouse. So I think that aspect is also really important to note because I wouldn't call it dad guilt because I don't feel guilty doing it. But maybe ladies, you would define it as dad guilt because I feel bad that I can't be with the kids.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I can't play football with Kalel because he loves football. So I only give him like 30 minutes in the evening or something like that. And I even try and tell my clients, past 5, I won't pick your call. So please don't take offense. And let's just keep working like that because I'm a family person. So I'm a family man. So I have to also spend time with my family.
Yeah.
And that's important to me. So if that won't work for you, then I don't think this will work. Yeah. So I think there's that aspect. There's like, we also feel the other side of the story, but also from from my perspective also, whatever I'm doing for work is so important.
Yeah.
When I'm doing it for work, when I'm doing ministry, when I'm doing all these other things outside here that seem like my life is moving on, they're so important because they're tied to my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the channel through which I'm able to provide for my family. It's a channel through which I'm able to serve my family. It's a channel through which I'm able to know exactly what to do to direct this family in the right way. Yeah. So
going to your question, what do I think about how you guys answered? I knew that with Charlene. Like, I knew she was feeling that way. Whether it's like stuck or whether it's like lost in the identity. So I knew that. And my love language, like giving love language, is acts of service. And so waking up in the middle of the night with her, that's not, I don't feel like it's such a burden. Or, taking the baby so she can rest or get her nails done. I don't feel like that's such a, I put both of them to sleep last night, no big deal.
Daddy Gabe. Uncle Daddy Gabe.
I take my flowers. No, I'm kidding. So that comes off easily and naturally with me. And that's one of the ways I wanted to serve her was with this podcast and to push her and to, serve her in that way. The harder thing for me is the communication aspect, like talking about it, addressing it, how I feel, how she feels. And so like in those moments, it's easy for me to wake up and grab a baby and turn on Survivor. It's hard for me to wake up, grab a baby. So how are you feeling? What's going on through your head? That is more difficult. And so, I knew the things she expressed, and like looking back, my loving way to respond is to serve. But I've constantly fallen short in the communication aspect of the whole thing.
I think we have. Okay, first of all, I'm seeing something quite unique in our setup because both of you guys, at least you two, are 2 under 2, right? And we have just the one. And the thing I think about for my wife is, right now she's focusing on the podcast. She's running her business. She's doing this. She's being a mom. And I have to think, if we were going to plan for a second child, does that all stop? You understand?
Yeah.
Because there's a level of momentum that she has right now that might be slowed down if we make that decision.
Yeah.
You get? And my perspective when I listen to you guys talk is, if we're having 2 kids, that's it, we're done. Case closed. So your momentum can be continuous. You get?
Yeah.
That's the other side for me. And my wife has made a couple of few bold choices. Even after now Tando has done 2. She's made a couple of bold choices, even being brave enough to do the podcast and her business, that I'm a bit more patient. I'm way more patient in terms of what her life is. But at the same time, cognizant that even Tando, being a baby boy, the fantastic baby boy that he is, he can create that feeling of everything is revolving around him, especially for her, and I'm out doing everything else. But how that feels for me is I'm doing it for all of us. That's where the drive changed. You talked about that. We want to get money for a holiday, buy the latest iPhone, cologne, everything. Now it's, this kid needs an inheritance.
Yeah.
My wife needs security. I need a level of freedom in my time that such that they can have those things. So I'm pushing harder than I've ever pushed. There's a drive that checked in, and I'm sure you guys felt this as well. There's a drive that checked in that, again, you didn't know you had. You get? And sometimes that drive would cause you to leave the house earlier than normal, come later than normal. And then the unwanted outcome is that you're not home all the time. Or you're not spending enough time. So the challenge for me, and perhaps for anybody else, any other man trying to make this thing work, is time. Because I also like what you said, whereby like beyond 5, that's it. I'm done working for clients. That's it. I try to be home in time for my son's bath, so that we spend that time together with him. Or when he's eating, that's our playtime, and just try to spend that time with him. But it sucks when I can't be home in time for that. When I have to tell him good night over the phone, it's tough. But I'm out there for his sake. I'm out there for her sake, and God willing, the next one's sake, whenever that time is.
Well, look at Kat.
But definitely no pressure. But that's the thing. It has its own weight. It is not superior. It just has a weight to it that I think these guys would understand.
I think for me, maybe I need to apologize because I really didn't see it. I know you've told me this before, but I've never seen it in that perspective. Like, you actually feel bad when you're not spending time with our kids. Because I think, us, we feel, okay, you feel.
You forgot the comma.
I feel
I love
that.
Gabe is just like, me, I love it running.
Like,
English
for me,
teacher.
I think it's so. It's very. Let me admit it. It's very selfish because I tend to see it from my perspective.
Yeah,
Not
I would say
seeing
the
from-
same about myself as well.
Yeah, like it's quite selfish when you think that you're the one with the child, that whatever that your partner is doing is not beneficial to all of you.
Yeah.
And I think even just to encourage what you're saying, how you feel like you feel that you feel bad even if you have 30 minutes with your kid. I think one thing with kids, it's always quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Because I can be with my kid the whole day and I've been on my phone or I've been watching a series. As in, I have not given of myself. So even if it's that 30 minutes, imagine that 30 minutes works. Yeah.
I think even just this conversation re-emphasizes the fact that our kids are not a burden.
They're not.
Like they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
The fact that they drive us to be better and do better and be better people, like, and push ourselves to do things that we previously probably didn't even think about. To me, it's just really, I don't know, it makes me feel nice because it's like, I don't know, our kids bring us together. Yes, our marriage, there's some things that change. There's some things that we have to get used to doing differently. But I'm just constantly reminded that in as much as our hands are full, so is our heart, our life, it's just full of it. It's full of love and joy. Yeah. So, and it's also, I never thought about it from you guys' perspective, to be honest. Like I had, if maybe it was in the back of my mind, but I didn't really take time to soak it in. But I think we've talked so much about mom guilt, and I'm like, you, Rob, when you say missing your family, missing your kids, it's like, it's actually, I've never thought about it like that. Honestly, I haven't. But what makes it different from mom guilt?
I think first.
What were you about to say? This one. Rob is about to make a joke. Sorry.
Just say it. Babe, just say it.
No, I was thinking about it in terms of maybe it's because we think about it logically first before we feel whatever we are feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's logical for me to be like, yes, I'm out of the house, or I'm working and I can't focus on the kids. But I'm doing it for his school fees. If he wants to go to a good school, he's gonna leave me alone. So let me just focus on this so that we can just like get things moving and get things going,
Yeah.
So I think it's because maybe maybe I'll speak for myself because maybe Gabe has that guilt, but like
The way he laughed.
I don't think so.
but I think about it first. If it makes sense, then now the feelings start settling in. You know, like I'm working on this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I really want to be with the kids as well. So how can I find a balance with the two? Will it mean I have to talk to my clients? Will it mean I have to do this? I have to do that? So there's that whole planning system that now comes into force. Yeah, and then now, and then also I think maybe I'll say this kindly. I feel like sometimes, ladies, you can put a lot of pressure on yourself. That's not necessary.
Washa Mesonga.
I agree.
No, it's because I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
All of you should
like
move
you-
like Washon.
I know.
Agree.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
because also what you're feeling, that guilt you're feeling, sometimes the kid doesn't even know and doesn't even care.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're just there, or maybe you left the house and now you're having mom guilt wherever you are. The kids are fine. Like they're probably just playing, doing something else,
Watching Miss Rachel.
You know, like they are fine. They're doing what they usually do during the day, but you feel bad because you're probably not a part of that. And it's to one extent it's okay, but it's not okay to kill yourself over it as well.
Can I say something about that? I shared this with my wife once. It's a conversation I was having with one of our friends, and they shared this nugget, and they said, in the same way that God gave you the grace to be a mother, God gave your child the grace to be your child. Hey, come on.
Wait. Edward drops mic to end home.
But I cannot claim originality. I must
You're
credit
just
that
claiming
I was told. But I found that to be very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's also, it has the right level of balance that does not cause you to abort responsibility to an extent.
We're going for 1 week.
Sorry.
Peace out.
We were going for 3 days.
Now it's a week.
No, but I did not say
So
that
fine.
to so that,
Inafilika permission.
permission.
You have given
God
us
has given you grace.
Given us the grace.
You've given
He has
us grace to
capacitated.
go to Mombasa now.
But you see, that is to empower you.
Mommy edition.
Cards.
Who's is she? Who's is she?
When ulichagua.
Imagine I chose. You chose. I chose.
Sorry.
But that is to kind of relieve the mom guilt, as it were, or the pressure you'd put on yourselves. Because life, as it were, would have you make decisions that are not always easy, but they have to be done. And you cannot use the mom card to get out, or the dad card for that matter, to get out of making a tough decision.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
You get, yeah.
That's
I
very,
have-
very
you wanted
powerful.
I have a
Something
question. I've forgotten what to say. It's
Okay.
gone. It's gone with the waves in Mombasa.
It's going to Mombasa. We'll go find it.
I'll find it when we get there for that 1 week.
that we're going.
Guy.
It's okay.
Do you have your question?
Yes, but
Oh, okay.
I know
Okay.
the question, so you can say what you want to say.
All right, don't forget it. You want to say
Okay.
it? Say don't forget it.
No.
I forgot what else.
I love it.
Mombasa is
Mombasa.
on the way. Go get it. It's on the way.
The air.
It's on the
Me,
way.
I want to
Oh, I
swim.
remember. All right. Going off of that, I didn't know mom guilt or dad guilt was a thing until Saturday. Like when we got together and
Yeah.
talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea that was a
It's
thing.
true.
But in from my experience, what I think, you guys do put a lot of pressure on yourself. I feel like a lot of it comes from culture too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is just like culture. People
Yeah.
expect the moms to do everything.
Yeah.
And so if like with that pressure that comes with culture,
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like there's a sense like if I don't do this right, then I'm going to be judged. If I don't, like one of the things blows my mind, Kenyan culture thing. You guys put way too many clothes on your babies. when we came back from America, and Charlene took one of our babies out without a hat.
Yeah.
So many mamas came up to
Hujavaa
us.
boshori, hujavalisha mtoto boshori,
I felt like such a bad mom.
Na kumpaka mafuta kama 2 liters, 2 liters of Vaseline.
They have to look like,
Shiny.
mshkaki or chips.
And it wasn't even cold.
No, Kenya's
It
not
wasn't cold. Okay, sometimes it is.
It's
babe.
bad because
But that
It's
time,
not
it
his
was.
kind of
you remember
cold.
those ones, a nurse, I won't even name the hospital. A nurse came and said, and told me how my child was underdressed and he's going to get a cold.
Yeah, and he'll get it through
No,
the
he'll
head.
get pnemonia.
Yeah,
through the head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
through
I
the
think
head.
I've been told that
I walked
before.
down, I walked out and I asked Eddie, how is this woman a nurse?
Even us, there's a time we went for clinic and then you know how you get injections on your thighs. There's a student nutritionist was like, valisha mguu wa mtoto ama sita kushughulikia. I'm like, honestly, what's your problem? Like the child is going to get an injection. Why should I overdress her? Like it doesn't. It's true. It doesn't. It's not even that cold. Because at that time it was hot. Yeah.
There was a time I saw literally there was a mom it was hot, and then we were in a tent. So the child had those blankets.
The two soft ones that have so much.
Blanket. So they were in those rompers with the bunny ears that just look like a blanket and then a blanket on top. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, baby.
I also don't get it.
I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, I don't get it. So, like, I feel like there's so much pressure that comes around with the culture. But from my perspective, two things. Like, one, I think Eden and Zoe are the coolest people ever. Like, those guys are just cool. So they're like,
Temperature-wise?
I love it.
We can give them a boshori.
I love it.
I'll make you
we
one.
can help with that.
I'll knit one for you.
That
We have two, and they look
Pop
really
it.
cute with their hair popping out.
Anyway.
Temperature-wise, they're really cool, and personality-wise, they're really cool as well. No, so I just simply enjoy hanging out with them. And like I remember I played frisbee on Saturday, and I was like, I need to get home. I want to hang out with my kids. I want to play with them. But the second thing for me personally is like my dad was the biggest influence in my life, simply because he was there. And I want to be the biggest influence in Eden and Zoe's life. And so I just simply want to be there and to be present. And so like the guilt that I have is like the idea of someone else raising our kids. And so like I'm very, very, very thankful for our nanny. She does an amazing job. But I don't want our kids to look back and be like, my nanny raised me.
Not my
parents.
Yeah,
raised me
I get
for.
you. Yeah.
So the idea of boarding school, where it's like boarding schools, I feel like they could be cool.
But
Controversial.
But like
Topic for another day.
Hey.
I would want our children to go to a day school because I want to be the biggest influence in their lives. And so that's, I guess, where guilt or the desire to be at home comes from for me. What was your question, Katsu?
So I feel like we really talked about our kids
a lot, yeah.
So my question is
You're calling it.
Yeah. So my question is, we've talked about how, I guess, mostly you guys have talked about how you feel like your time is divided. The previous episode, we've talked about how our time is divided between everything we're doing and the kids. So how do we ensure that we don't give our spouses breadcrumbs at the end of the day?
Yeah, that's hard.
That's really hard.
That's one of the things Charlene's been saying to me a lot.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, you give everybody so much, but you give me the breadcrumbs.
Because after the kids, because it's
Now Gaby's the one moving.
Let me just promote the shirt.
because after the kids, because I think it's something that I realized, and this also will affect even our roller coaster time.
What does that mean?
Roller
Don't ask. Don't
roller
even.
Highs and lows.
Okay.
That one for upstairs.
Kadzo.
Yeah,
I also have an answer
I want to go
for
first. I don't want you guys to take my answer.
So, because the time I feel like, okay,
rather like it
The-
also affects like
your-
intimacy.
your-
Yeah.
emotional, mental intimacy will
Yeah.
affect your physical
Physical
intimacy.
intimacy,
So if
yeah.
it's breadcrumbs, then at the end of the day, like, 2 minutes. Okay, good night, love you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Guys.
not
It's a
2
what?
minutes.
But you know,
Emphasize.
I'm just like,
No, I'm going first.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want you guys to take my answer.
Go ahead.
Okay, Gabe, do it. Listen.
I am not good at this.
Yeah.
I am not good at this.
You're getting better though.
I'm getting
I
better,
will say.
and I'm willing to work to get better, but I'm not good. So I want to say that first. But one of the things that has helped with us is date nights and having that time set apart. Not just going to get food, but doing fun things, whether it's like going to the forest and shooting bow and arrows, or surprising her with a date, or even taking opportunities when my mom was here for us to go out. So date nights has definitely helped a ton. Then I had something else, but I forgot. What's the other thing I do well? Oh, this podcast. Yeah, this podcast. Yeah, we're able to work on something together.
Together.
which is nice and which is fun. We're able to create together, work together, plan together,
Yeah.
and so that's also fun and gives us enjoyment.
I think it also brought us closer because we used to work together until I stopped working. And then now working on this has brought us, like, we've always worked together. So this brings us back to working together. And we do that. Like, I've had so many couples say they can't work together, and I understand it. But for some reason, I think that maybe because with our history, we started with working together before we were friends, before we were romantic. Like, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that your guys' answers?
No, for me, I think it's a priority thing, and it's challenging for me because, so I'm a leader in our community, in our church community. I'm a business owner. Masetando baba.
so tired.
Yeah, and father, husband. I'm also like a musician, like just working around that. Like there's, like people say, as in, oh, Rob, you're so multi-talented. It's not. It's a blessing, but it's a responsibility more than it is a blessing, because you have all these things that you want to do and sometimes you can't do them, or you have all these things you can do, but you have to decline to do them because of certain things. So it's all about priority. And sometimes I usually say this, like, when I'm so good at home, you'll find probably work might suffer.
Yeah.
Or my responsibilities at church might suffer. If I'm so good in church and serving people and doing this and doing that, something else suffers. So, like, for me, I realized this, I think a couple of months ago, probably in January, when I was hanging out with our bishop, and he just shared, yo, Rob, this responsibility that you have in our community has to be your priority, because your priority is to Christ first. And so, but also, I don't, like, if Washo ever comes to me that you're slacking at home, like, I'll deal with you properly, you know. So everything ends up becoming a priority, because also work can't suffer, because if work suffers, what are we gonna eat? How are we gonna live? You know, and things like that. So it's almost as though everything became a priority all at the same time. So what I decided to do, and I'm still working towards doing it, is I gave up some things.
Yeah.
Like watching series. I only do it when I'm doing it with her. Like, you'll rarely find me just seated in the couch watching a series. I think the only thing I do by myself for my own rejuvenation is playing PS. Like in the house. That's in the house. But most of the time, we'll find reasons to go out. Maybe to Karura, which we need to do that again. Or we find reasons to do things together. But I really think priority is a big thing, because if you give up the things that are not so important, that you may feel that they're important, but you can find something else to substitute it that's more enriching and more beautiful to either to what you're doing in ministry or in work or in the family than just for yourself. Because I used to think like chilling and watching a series is resting, but it actually isn't. There's a better way to rest, or maybe it is resting for some, but like for me, I found a better way to rest. And it also it's also, there's a book that I read that says do the hard things first. It's harder to play with your kids when you're tired than to just sit and watch a series. But if you do the hard things first, by the time you're going to sort yourself out, like everything around you is already working. So I'm like Gabe, like I'm not perfect at it. I'm still working towards that. But I think trusting in the Holy Spirit and also just living your life according to how God has helped you structure it, rather than looking for distraction, that really helps in bringing that synergy. Because otherwise, I'll be honest, I struggled with that for so long. But I think now I'm finding a wavelength. Like last year, I had to leave my a consultancy I was doing with my brother because it was just taking too much time from everything else, from ministry, from family. So I realized my work has to suffer a bit just for a season so that my family and ministry can survive, So I had to let that go. And I felt bad about it, but looking back, it was the best decision I made because we're in such a good space now. A better space.
Can I jump in before you jump in?
Go ahead.
I need to ask my wife a question because I had this idea where it's not giving her breadcrumbs. And so let me know. So I think one of the things that helps, and tell me if this does help, but one of the things that help is giving her a Sabbath day where it's like you can just have this day off. You don't have to do anything. Whatever you want to do, you take care of yourself. I think that helps you, helps her, helps you. Because you're able to take care of yourself, rejuvenate the way you want to, which helps it when you come back to the house, not as stressed. Is that helpful?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I'm also the only introverted person in my house. So my kids are extroverted. My husband is extroverted. So my energy is constantly drained because I want to be intentional with giving everyone their individual needs because my kids are also very different. So yeah, having that one day to just either sleep in or go get my nails done or, whatever it is, read a book at a cafe, whatever it is. Like I need alone time to get my energy back. So yeah, it's very helpful.
Nice. Say yes to alone time.
Babe, I love your question.
Honestly, I think you guys should just start your own podcast.
It's coming.
But I'll tell you why I love your question. It's a conversation we've had. And here's the thing. I feel in the various spheres of life, whether it's professional, whether it's family, there's going to be crumbs somewhere.
Yeah.
That's true.
Somewhere.
That's true.
You move too much in one direction, there'll be crumbs in the opposite direction. There's always going to be crumbs somewhere. And in this case, it's crumbs in our relationship or in a relationship.
Yeah.
And the challenge that I've had to overcome is realizing that there are times I can get paralyzed in my thought when I discover the crumbs. So you might find that in the discovery of the crumbs, I'm paralyzed in my thought. And because I'm paralyzed in my thought, I'm not present enough to deal with the crumbs. And sometimes I choose to ignore it. And what I've found as an approach, I'll use an analogy I heard somebody say. I have many analogies, but yeah, they said, focusing on the negative takes the same amount of resources as focusing on the positive.
Yeah.
Because it takes your time, it takes your energy and your mental capacity. So once you come to understand that, once you have the appreciation that it is a resource that you're using to focus on something negative, then you can limit the time that you focus on that thing. You can appreciate it and then pivot.
Yeah.
So where I am right now is I realize that there are times I only have crumbs left for you. And I'm working on, yes, I appreciate that. It's not a criticism in terms of a lack of my own ability, but it's a call to spend time with you. So I choose to not ignore it. I choose not to focus on it for too long.
Yeah.
And refocus the previously negative energy into positive energy and find time, make hard decisions like Rob, where he said, I'll choose what opportunities to take advantage of.
Yeah.
And in so doing, I've gotten to a place where I have to communicate early enough so that it's not a surprise.
Yes.
Actually, like from everything that we're saying, the main issue is communication.
It's true.
Because if I communicate to Rob the right way, we won't have a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
We won't have struggles in our intimacy, both physically, mentally, spiritually, all those things. If you decide to communicate that. But I think the hardest bit is finding the right words to express how you feel. Because even with the dividing, what you were saying, getting your priorities right, you have to find a way how to say that to your spouse. And sometimes, like, honestly, you don't have the words to say what you want to say. And it's by the fear of the fact that, like, for me, I think it's the fear of, I really don't want Rob to take me the wrong way if I say this or something like that. I don't want my partner or my spouse, whatever, to think of me in a certain way. I don't want to say this, or if it's a thought maybe I have about myself or about there's any situation that we're in. Like it's finding the words to communicate that is the biggest thing with marriages, because if you focus so much on your kids, your kids won't thrive if the two of you are not together. Like I love that the aspect of having off days. I love the aspect of even you guys pushing us to do our own things, because that already creates, like, it creates good things, good hormones and all that the fact that you and your spouse are on the same page in something, it makes your relationship with your kids even better. Yeah.
If I may add, there's those Instagram reel dudes. I don't know if that, whatever he is. He said something very interesting. The reel was, he was saying that 1 hour of sleep, 1 hour. What the heck was it saying?
Just 1 hour extra sleep.
I sent you that video.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
He has all the quotes.
It's true.
He just remembers this
Come out
thing.
with a list of quotes.
Person said what? What did he say?
I need that extra. What did you say?
One
No,
extra.
no. Gosh.
least-
Now
yeah,
I messed
but-
it up.
Yeah.
I think it was 1 hour extra
Of sleep.
of sleep leads to an increased, was it libido? For women.
I think so.
Yeah. So apparently.
interesting.
And I realized for me, the days that I've slept or rested is the days anyway. I live up. And then when I'm tired, I have them
Jongelesha, ni kweli,
Shoni,
yeah.
nimechoka, macho zangu ni red.
Yeah.
So that what Washu is saying makes a lot of sense because I also realized when we are less tired, it's easier to communicate. Communicating when one or either of you is tired will lead to a fight.
Yeah, that's true.
And it could be because, and it happened in our household where we're saying the same thing because you're so tired. Now you're upset.
Yeah.
Like you're not hearing me and
You're
you're
easily
not- I'm
triggered
like,
by small things.
yeah, you're triggered by small things.
Yeah.
So even having such conversations where your hubby or your wife comes like, today I'm just feeling zeroed out. I'm nani. You could easily, even if let's say Eddie comes and says, I'm so tired today. I just had the longest day. I can easily say because of that, let me give you 1 hour. Let me take Tando. We do whatever.
Yeah.
It gets to.
That really
rest.
helps. Thanks. babe.
Yeah.
And that will give you some time to just renew your energy before this ball of energy comes.
Yes.
And then just figuring it out.
Yeah. I think even something that you've already mentioned is what I wanted to add with Washo. Like, not even if you have a hard time communicating, knowing your husband or knowing your spouse, your partner, whatever, like if they look the same thing you said, if they look a certain type of way, you know what they would need because this is your best friend, this is your person. Even if you don't know, at least unaweza jaribu kufanya kitu yenye you know might help. So it's like where words fail, actions speak louder.
I think just the one thing to complement what you said is what has worked. Sometimes when we are talking and we are crossing wires, what has really helped is you guys. The fact that we can even sit like this and talk.
Yeah.
It's not just for the podcast. It's us. These are things that we talk about daily. It's relieving. It's a stress reliever. There's a level of accountability that we're creating with each other in these stories that we share. And in that accountability is the opportunity for womansplaining and mansplaining. So my wife will say,
There's no
X,
such
Y, and
thing
Z.
as woman's planning.
I think you just
That's a new
demonstrated.
one. That's a new t-shirt.
That's a new t-shirt. Woman's playing.
Let me womansplain what I'm saying.
No,
Me, I want to
but
woman
it's the reality. It's the reality. You'd be able to explain what she's saying so that I can understand what my son just is the best. Anyway. Yeah, you'd explain it in a way that probably I'm not hearing and I'm struggling to hear, and it's genuine. I'm not ignoring what she is, but yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about marriage here, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing, my God, that we're here, we're married, we're able to do this parenthood journey together. And it's a blessing that God has given us, but it's also a blessing it's also something that so many of our listeners don't have. And we understand that. One of the things we want to do with our podcast is be a blessing to our listeners and the community, mothers all across Nairobi in East Africa. And I'm the manager, and I didn't run this by
So we
you
are
guys.
sorry.
I didn't run this by you guys, but to our audience, I would love it if we're a blessing to one of you. And so I'm going to throw this idea out there. Let me know what you guys think. What if one weekend, to one of our audience, one of our listeners, we watch the kids for a single mom. And we as dads take on the opportunity to watch the kids for, let's say, a day while you guys take the single mom out. Whether it's take her out so she can feel like herself and she can,
I feel like crying.
we
What?
this isn't planned, this is on the spot, but maybe we can do something like whether it's a spa, you guys take them out, get their nails done, take her out, just so she can feel like herself and not have to wear the identity of a mom. While we can be a blessing and watch the kids for a day. So that's an idea, and we haven't. I'm just throwing it out there now, but it's something I would love to do as a team. Something we would love to do to one of our listeners. So if you're a single mom and this is something you want, please reach out to us.
Yeah, please do.
We're gonna choose one of you guys and be a blessing to you guys.
Probably on Instagram,
Yeah. I think so.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
My husband. My man.
No, we just want to be a blessing to you guys.
If I was a single
100%.
mom, I think
I'd want that.
And if you're that single mom,
Yeah.
We got
take us up on it.
Yes, and don't forget the lovely merchandise that we have.
which will come out soon.
Coming out soon.
By the end of the season.
By the end of the season. So if you'd like to have one of either the hoodie or the t-shirts or
the mug.
or the mug, or other things that we are planning to do. Yeah, so stay tuned to see how you can purchase them. Yeah.
And ladies, wives, thank you for having us on your podcast.
You're
it was
welcome.
a joy. This
100%.
is intimidating.
Yeah, this is not easy.
I'm so glad we're in it. No, but thank you for having us. It's a joy. And then also, guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. It goes such a long way. And share it with your friends. Yeah, I feel like one of those influencers who always says comment, like, and subscribe. But
You're
comment,
the manager.
like, and subscribe.
You're the manager.
I am the manager.
Yes.
And share.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, guys.
With that being said,
Don't be stingy.
So what are we supposed to say now?
Bye, guys.
Peace. Peace.
So much grace. So much grace. So much grace. So much grace.